It's time for the Half Hour to Health with Dr. Bob and Debbie DeMaria. Call a friend or family member now and let them benefit from today's exciting and informative program. If you want to lead a healthier life, the time is now.
Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Kason DeMaria with another half hour of health for you. And tonight, we are going to talk about a subject that is near and dear to our hearts. We're going to talk about children and drugless natural chiropractic care. If you ever come into our office on any given day, we always have children that are a part of it. Parents who get the big idea have their kids in for regular chiropractic care. And do you want to know why? Because gravity never takes a vacation. And Dr. Kason is going to share with you when the subluxations actually start. You are going to be amazed because every one of you have gone through the same experience, right, Dr. Kason?
Yes, I think people right now at home are probably thinking, kids, oh my gosh, the kids get adjusted. But the most traumatic part of everyone's life is the birthing process, whether it was a natural birth and they had some interventions with forceps, or if it was a C-section birth, that's the first time that the baby experiences that trauma. And what happens is, especially in children, the top bone, that's where their brainstem sits. So you can imagine that process of coming down the birthing canal and any of the twisting that goes on inside a mother, but also just with the whole birthing process going through the pelvis.
You know, I don't want to interrupt you, but I think we have to slow down because, see, we understand this. C-sections versus natural childbirth, because I think like over 50% of all births today are C-sections, aren't they?
Yeah, and also what we're learning just going through our advanced training is the whole process of having a natural birth and going through the birthing canal. That's when the baby gets all that healthy flora to help their immune system and to help them properly fight off anything. So
let's talk about, you had mentioned that you're having some postgraduate training right now, Dr. Anthony and yourself. So what exactly are you doing? Like, what is the talk? Let's talk to these individuals, because, you know, as chiropractors, I don't think that most people understand that chiropractic helps every part of their body. So what we do in our practice, not only do we help neck and back pain, we help the whole body function better. So wise parents have their children checked. So I have advanced training in spinal engineering. I have a Doctor of Natural Health degree. I have a degree in chiropractic orthopedics. And you guys are going in a whole nother venue, which is going to be very helpful for Northern Ohio and the whole world. So talk about what your training is exactly.
So what Dr. Anthony and I are doing right now is we're doing advanced training. It's called the ICPA, and it's advanced training in pediatrics, so kids, and also pregnancy. So currently right now our training, we're doing things like kids with autism and also proprioception sensory disorders, and just how to better manage kids with certain kinds of specific cases, but also the general wellness of how important it is to be checked when you are pregnant so that you can have a faster recovery rate, and also with the delivery process, so it starts way even before the baby's born, that you can help to just have a better overall healing environment inside of your body for the baby.
So if you had a C-section, or if your child had a or the child came into the world because of a C-section or forceps, it probably would be a really good idea to have that child checked.
And the best thing about kids are their spines, they're not completely formed yet, and they're just forming, so the adjustment only takes a minute, and it's very gentle. Kids love getting adjusted. They're happy. We don't do things that hurt the baby at all. It's very gentle. Did you want to talk about that, Dr. Anthony? Just the adjustment?
Yeah, well, good. The adjustments really, there's so many different ways of actually adjusting a baby. So in the advanced training that we did in school, and what we're doing right now in the ICPA, which is that International Chiropractic Pediatric Association, is coming with different approaches, because there's different ways of adjusting a spine, and a lot of times it's coming about educating a parent differently about how their child responds, because, you know, and you've heard us on the show before talking about a bone being misplaced and that causing the brain not to communicate with the body. It's a little bit different in a baby. The same principles apply, but because the spine's not totally formed, it's different things that are going around with the subluxation and the misalignment of the spine. So the things that we do to a baby are going to be different than we would do to an adult because their spines are different, but they still need to be checked. So one of the most important areas, especially for kids, is going to be their moms. So really, the first subluxation and taking care of the baby starts with taking care of the mom, because what a lot of women don't realize is that all that stuff that you're eating during pregnancy is being made into your baby that you're carrying inside of your stomach. So, you know, there's a lot of things that we love to work with pregnant mothers, and they're just so happy when they're in our office because we're able to decrease the amount of time that they have in pregnancy and increase their baby's immune system. So those first couple of months and even years of the baby's life is so important because of the immune system. So what chiropractic does is it helps increase the baby's immune system. So especially a lot of times people will come to see us and they have ear infections or the baby's crying or has colic, and it all has to do with the baby's immune system. And the immune system is directly related to how their spine is functioning. So it's just something that we're really passionate about, is making a difference for women that are pregnant and children, because it can be an area that's neglected, and especially in the past 15 to 20 years with C-sections, is they were actually scheduling moms to be birthed not on the mom's right time for her body, but on the golf schedule of the doctor that's doing the delivering. So one of the things that we just do is we just educate moms and children about how important it is to be in the office, and we're just passionately addicted to helping people.
You know, I think, and you made so many really awesome points, I think what's really particularly important is antibiotics. And at the time that we are taping this program, it was in the USA Today, the massive amount of antibiotics that are being used. And it's almost, because Dr. Anthony made an interesting point about scheduling and the doctor's golfing schedule. Well, in this article, and I cannot even believe that they even would have, I just can't believe this, that they're saying we need to educate doctors more on when they should and should not give antibiotics. I'm thinking, hello, it's like, what is going on out here in the world? See, most of the antibiotics that are given to people today are for conditions that the antibiotics are known not even to help. So I'm going to share something with you, and this is important, and I really want you to pay attention. If you're not feeling 100%, for whatever reason it is, and you're thinking about going to your healthcare provider, what I want you to request before you have an antibiotic is that you should have a blood test done called a CBC. It's a complete blood count. And in that CBC, if your neutrophils are elevated, chances are statistically you have a bacteria problem in your body. Yes, those antibiotics designed to help kill good and bacteria may benefit you for a short season. If you have that CBC with a differential and your lymphocytes are elevated, it's probably a viral problem, and you're wasting your time and your money, and you're actually compromising function in your body. That was important, because what's going to happen to you all is you're going to come into our office with a urinary tract infection, a chronic sinus problem that they may have drilled your holes in your nose 8 times. So what Dr. Anthony and Case and I are saying to you in a very loving way is the nervous system controls the function of your body. So you have a child that's chronically sick, and we talk about this week in and week out. If you're giving that child sugar, that's child abuse. You hear what I just said? You see, that sugar is compromising their immune system. And that child is not going to be 100%, and then you're going to constantly be giving them antibiotics. So we know, and trust me, we are not opposed to taking any medication. And I'm saying that in love, and I'm just saying that just because I'm supposed to say that. But we know that if you're really healthy and you're doing everything from the basic foundational level, you don't need medication. I have read statistics. The #1, and this is, you could talk about this, Dr. Kaysen here, the #1 reason that people go to emergency room and the #1 drug that's used in America today is medication for asthma.
Asthma, I think that's one of the #1 reasons also. I mean, with kids in our office, they have a lot of coughing or lung problems, but even like running and sports that they always have to stop, and the inhalers and the antibiotics. But what's amazing with so many kids in our office is after their first adjustment, and I even think with the adults too, the #1 thing that they realize is that they can take a deeper breath, they can breathe easier. And the whole reason behind that is because your top vertebra here in your thoracic spine, the nerves there supply your lungs. And just with everything that we've been doing and seeing in the office with our specific x-rays and new technology that we've seen, just the top vertebra, those are the things that are commonly misaligned, especially in adults and in children.
It's kind of interesting because a couple other thoughts when it comes to kids, and I've talked about this in prior programs about the organ association with emotions, is that lungs are associated with sadness. And we do see a lot of children in our practice, and so many times when children come in today, you know, they are maybe being raised in a single spouse household. Maybe the dad's not there, or maybe the mom's not there, or maybe grandma and grandpa are raising the children, and it really is common, and these kids have sadness which impacts their lungs. And we know through chiropractic adjustments that the lung function is going to improve, which is tremendous. And actually we see chronic problems with dairy and lung problems. Dr. Anthony, you want to talk about our tricks?
Yeah, sure. One of the things that I wanted to show you here is we always kind of joke about these, but it's not really a joking matter because we have strategically called these death balls, and these are tricks. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about when you have a cereal like that is it will end up becoming a function of the mom is wanting to supply, you know, little snacks like Trix or Cheerios to their baby. Well, what I would encourage you to do is not to do that because of the grains that are in those cereals. So one of the things, especially that we've talked in previous episodes, is gluten epidemic that's out there, but that also starts with babies. So even places like the Weston Price Foundation talk about when you introduce grains to children that are young, they're going to develop chronic health issues as they get older. So we want to make sure that you do not introduce grains and cereals to children as they get older, because our goal is to have them have 100% function, especially as they're growing older.
Well, I'll tell you, there is a lot, and our goal is to try to give you a plan. So I would encourage you to go to our website. Dr. Anthony just mentioned the westonaprice.org. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Kason DeMaria, and I'd like to invite you to join us at our office. We are here to make a difference in your life. We will listen to you. We will listen to every complaint you have and help you make wise choices for your long-term health problems.
I just want to invite everyone to bring their kids into our office because we have so much fun and we know how we can make a difference in impacting not only the kids but also your family, just helping them reach that optimal level of function.
And one of the things that we're blessed to use is some advanced technology with how we go about your care. So we're able to do special thermal imaging of your spine and do motion x-rays. And we're also just able to use some biocommunication devices in order to figure out the best plan of care for your specific case.
So what's going on in our particular practice is that we have high-end technology. We've been skilled, trained, and experienced. We will listen to you. We know that you want wellness. We look at the whole package. We look at the whole person, regardless of whatever you've had done to this point, whether it be surgery, you're on medications. Give us an opportunity to serve you. We have taken care of this area for over 35 years, and we have the expertise to make a difference for you and your family. We have educational material that's available to you. We have material that's available in the form of books and technology. So we'd encourage you, regardless of what you have going on, that you give our office a call today. Let us make a difference for you and your family. And we're also available to speak at your business, your organization, or your church. We love treating families. We love chronic problems. Give us a call today. You'll be glad you did. Hello, this is Dr. Bob, Anthony, and Kason DeMaria. Welcome once again to our Half Hour of Health program. And we're going to continue talking about kids' health, and we have so much information to share with you this evening. And what I want you to just look here, this is a printer cable. Now, we know that printer cables really aren't common anymore because printers are wireless, but it makes a great prop. And as Dr. Kason and Anthony were talking about the trauma of birth, well, see, your brain sends messages down the spinal cord. And if your spinal column, which the cord is inside, is compressed or been altered from maybe a traumatic birth or when you learn how to ride a bicycle, even heading with soccer, slips and falls and strains, it can impair function of the nervous system. And we know that the nervous system controls the function of the body. We also know that what you eat can also impact how your body responds to care. So we have a variety of items that we're going to be discussing. I think one of the first ones, and this company has done a spectacular job. I'm being very sarcastic, by the way. It's called Gee Whiz.
Yeah, one of the things that's interesting about the product that I'm holding up is this is a Gatorade bar. I was recently reading a journal article talking about the increase in market share of bars like this G bar. So back in 2004, there was about 12 companies that were making bars much like this, and their market share was $60 million. So since 2004, the market share has increased to $3.2 billion just in bars alone. One of the things that's fairly interesting about the bars is the amount of ingredients that are in there that we would not suggest that someone would eat. You know, like there could be upwards of 300 to 600 calories per bar, and some people are consuming 1 or 2 or even 3 bars a day. But it's something that we would really want to discourage anyone from giving their child, whether it be in a lunch or as a snack, because one of the top ingredients, when I look on the back of this ingredient, is contains milk, soy, and wheat. So some of the common challenges that we see when people come into our office is they have an issue with dairy, which is that milk, soy, which is genetically modified, or wheat, which contains gluten. So out of those top 3, which are your big, you know, bandits, they are all in these bars. So I would highly encourage you not to do something like that when it comes to giving children food, because you want to be supplying them with the nutrients that they need to grow. And one of the common misconceptions is milk and calcium for children. And yes, we let the cat out of the bag. Milk and calcium. There's so many other good sources of calcium that you can give children to have strong, healthy bones than milk. So that's just one of the things that we've found, that dairy and milk contribute to health challenges in children. So if your child is needing to get tubes in their ears, or is chronically stuffy or sick, or has a problem with digestion, it could be the dairy products that you're supplying to that child.
You know, I'm going to give you a very simple snack alternative that you could use at home, is rice cereal treats. You can say, what's that, Dr. Bob? I would like you to get some organic brown rice cereal. Get a jar of preferably organic almond butter. We use a product that I know is available in our office. It's at most select health food stores, and it's on our website, called Pear Sweet, and a half a stick of butter. So you get the butter, you melt it. You can get a cup of the Pear Sweet and a whole container of the almond butter. Put it in a pan, warm it, and pour it on the rice cereal, mix it together, put it in a glass dish, put it in your freezer, tamp it down, excuse me, freeze it, and then cut it up. It makes healthy treats. So what Dr. Anthony was saying to you about these bars, I'm going to tell you right now what we have seen in our practice, and we have the ability through a galvanic skin response biocommunication. Some of the most unhealthy people use these bars because they literally dump junk in these bars, and they're high calories. And I'm going to tell you right now, when it comes to Gatorade, if you just, all I'm asking you to do is just look at the ingredients in Gatorade. And I would almost rather have you drink soda than Gatorade because of the colors, the sugar, the sucralose. Some of them even have bromine in it. And we're going to share something else with you. We just want to raise your awareness, this high fructose corn syrup. Dr. Kaysen.
All of these items that I have in front of me have high fructose corn syrup in them. So just like you were saying, the soda, but specifically pancake syrup, which a lot of kids, I think they're literally just addicted to sugars. Also, applesauce has high fructose corn syrup, and I know that probably a lot of people, they eat applesauce or they serve applesauce in school lunches and things like that, but alternatives to all of these things are just really being detectives in what the ingredients are in each one of these items, and you're better off making your own applesauce with just organic apples and some cinnamon and nutmeg, but they have the natural sugars in them already, so they don't need to be added at all with these chemicals.
One of the issues that we have with high fructose corn syrup leading to obesity is high fructose corn syrup takes something out of your body called leptin. Leptin is the hormone that tells you you're full. So as Dr. Kaysen was sharing, let's say you have a meal and you serve commercial-made applesauce. Then afterwards, your child is hungry. How can you be hungry? You just ate all this food. And it's because the high fructose corn syrup that's in the applesauce or in the pancakes. Let me tell you what. If you're going to have pancakes, have gluten-free pancakes. Buy some real maple syrup. And by the way, you want to make sure you have organic maple syrup because we have patients of ours who make syrup, and you can literally get syrup that they've injected the trees with formaldehyde so that the trees will produce more sap to make the syrup. And so we're not trying to beat everybody up. We're just trying to help you because, see, we have autistic kids that come into the office. We have kids that are chronically sick. We have kids that are performing poorly in school, and they're not getting good grades, and they're having dysfunction. So what we want to do is we want to help make a difference. Do you want to touch base on the peanut butter, Dr. Kaysen and Dr. Anthony? We have some chocolate here also.
With the peanut butter, I think so many kids just with allergies, the top ingredients that we're looking at is the peanut butter, dairy, and gluten, but specifically with the trans fat that's in Jiffy and peanut butter. Kids love peanut butter, and I think the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and peanut butter on apples, peanut butter on celery, everyone's using the peanut butter now, but instead of using peanut butter, we're suggesting something like almond butter instead.
Almond butter is definitely a great alternative. So people love chocolate.
So one of the things that's interesting about this hot chocolate packet is